We just showed you what the work of a crime scene cleanup crew is like. A lot of gore and a lot of grossness and stuff. But it turns out there is quite an audience for this kind of thing on TikTok. These two guys have amassed more than a quarter, just about a quarter of a million people on TikTok. But how do you get into a job like this in the first place? And then how do you cope with all the stuff you see every day? Joining me now is Tom DeSena and Junior Lalbachon. They are professional crime scene cleaners. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Tom, I'll begin with you. It's a good question. How do you get into this business?
Well, first of all, Ms. Banfield, thank you for having us on. We really greatly appreciate it. I guess, it really just takes a strong-minded person. I graduated from college. I went to school for criminal justice. I graduated back in 2020, and just for me, it was pretty simple. I was applying to jobs related to my degree. This one seemed very interesting, very different. I never heard anyone do it before, and something told me to just go for it. So I applied right away. I had success with it, and the rest is history.
So, Junior, what is the hardest part of this job?
The hardest part with this job is with traveling. That's one of it. And the next hardest part is like when you got to get up early in the morning. It'd be tough sometimes.
Oh, it's tough.
We try to make it happen. We got to get up and get the job done. We got to, there's work that we get done,
Some of these pictures are incredible, like the hoarding that you respond to. I can't even imagine how long it would take you to get through stuff like that. You're given a description by your company, right? Like, I'm thinking of you guys as a strike team. You get the call, you're given a slight description, but how much do you get in advance in terms of what you're about to face? Tom, maybe you take that one.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, to be honest with you, we get a description. Usually it consists, just customer's name, address, contact number. We get a brief description, of the important things. But sometimes, you can't always tell with this. It's a very unknown thing. Sometimes people haven't really seen it, or maybe they didn't get the right idea of it. There's always something else, you know what I mean? So something that we always make sure of when we go on jobs, three really important things we always ask, were there drugs involved, especially fentanyl, because that's a big problem. Were there other animals, are there any cats, dogs, other types of animals that are aware, and are there any weapons, guns, knives, needles, stuff like that. Yep.
Makes sense. Those would be good questions I would ask, too, if I were going into a house where there's a fentanyl problem, for sure. So
Yes.
Let me ask you this, Junior. Scary stuff. And I know you got, the masks and the Tyvek suits and everything. But, Junior, when you go in, what's worse, the sight of what you're looking at or the smell of what you're dealing with?
Well, the side that I'm looking at, because at the moment when I'm walking in there, I got to see these customers and these family in a bad stage of, like mindset. They're going through a lot. And, that's right there that gets to me because, I'm seeing people struggling with these cases, and that's something I do not want to see people struggling, like something like that. I'm a kind of person like this. I would like to see people happy. And in this situation, it's tough on these people.
Nobody's happy.
And whatever I could do to make it better, I try my best. I wish I could do more, but I give it the best I can.
I can imagine that it's, there's a story behind every one of these terrible scenes that you arrive at. And I can imagine just trying to put some of that together would be pretty emotional. The one thing I was wondering, Tom, as I look at your videos, is you have a big biohazard graphic that pops up all over the video at times. And I'm wondering if you're trying to cover something that's too graphic or if it's something that will identify the home, because you keep all of this private. Nobody knows where the homes are or what the stories are, correct?
Of course. No, yeah, never an address, never a picture. So basically those emojis where, I blur out, a photograph. If there's a photograph on the wall or something, I do my best to keep it as private as possible, So, just out of, courteousness. But those images, when you see graphic content warning, is what I add right before I show the graphic content. I have a specific caption that I use on every video. I mean, I do as many warnings as possible, and sometimes the videos still don't, work too well with TikTok, but a lot of the times I think I figured out how to get it on well.
So, Junior, do you think that your TikTok account, where you really take everyone through your workday from the beginning to when you arrive to the work and then when you leave, do you think, Junior, that's therapeutic for you? Because this stuff is really hard to deal with.
It is. Those people that's on TikTok and supporting all of us, like, me and Tom, they're very helpful. We look at it, they're there, they're supporting us. And, they talk with us, we talk with them, we have communication and stuff. And it's something good, because then at that moment, that situation is not on my mind anymore. It moves away.
Sure.
So
Tom, what about the famous cleanup that your company actually was commissioned to do? Tell our audience which movie set it was.
Yes, the movie set it was. It wasn't Junior and I at the time of late 2021. We were still working up in New York together. But the Alec Baldwin incident that was actually cleaned by our company. I didn't really know too much about it. And a lot of these situations, even though it is mainstream news, I mean, we see it every day, and sometimes we don't really listen or watch some of these situations because we're just surrounded by it every day, So when you hear something like that with your own company, it's definitely like, whoa, like, this is pretty real.
Yeah.
This is real.
And like I said, someone's got to do it. You're the guys who come in when we never see, that part of the crime story. But I am so appreciative that you came on with us. And whatever they pay you, it is not enough. Tom DeSena and Junior Lovelchad, thanks so much for being here. And thanks for doing the work you do.
thank you for having us.
God bless you all.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.